I'm Tiffany Stuckey with ArtsAltoona Talks. We're joined today at the Launch Box by Ann Bickel, Director of Curriculum for the After School Arts Program with ArtsAltoona, and also with Katie Huckabee, a Penn State professor who is currently leading the Arts in Motion, which is part of the ASAP program. So thank you so much for joining us, and as always, don't forget to subscribe to ArtsAltoona Talks. So, to begin, ASAP. What does the acronym stand for, and who does it reach?
ASAP stands for the After School Arts Program, and our goal is just to reach kids who don't have connections to the community or other ways to be involved in activities. Of course, we're open to everybody. We want anybody to be welcome, but we really want to reach kids who just don't have access to other after-school activities or just have never experienced something like this before. So, yeah.
Now, our current program is Arts in Motion, led by Professor Katie Huckabee. Can you tell us about the program? Who does it reach? What does it involve?
Arts in Motion is really about getting the students, the participants, to move without calling it dance, because as soon as you put the word dance in front of something, it creates this intimidation for those who haven't been dancing, right? And so through ASAP program, they found the students who might be interested in working with us, and I think it was more of their parents' idea to participate, but they're doing really well. I see them gaining a lot from it. They're engaged, they're excited, they have wonderful ideas, and so there's Art in Motion every Tuesday after school.
And where is this specifically? Is that Altoona elementary age or junior high? Or?
We're working with the junior high. Okay. So we have 5 students. I'm not sure of their grades, but they're age 13 to 14, I think, is what their age is. And
which can definitely be a tough age to reach.
Yeah, having had raised a child successfully through the teenage years, yes. And they like to push buttons, but once they realize that I don't have very many buttons, we get some work done. Right. But it's about reaching them where they are. Right. I'm not teaching them dance. Right. We improvise. We play with movement. We play with ideas for movement. We create dances. We create all sorts of ideas, and the great thing is you can't be wrong. In improvisation, you can't be wrong. So they're always successful.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
And success is a big thing whenever you're working with students. So could you both possibly answer this question for me? I just want our audience to understand the importance of these after-school programs for the students in our area. Why is it so crucial that we're reaching students for the arts, whether it be painting, sculpture, dance, however that looks? Why is it such an important piece?
Do you want me to go first? Do you want to go first?
No, I'll go first. Okay. I feel, especially with this group that I'm working with, I've worked this way with younger students, children 5 to 12, but now working with this group, I really find they're not seen.
Right.
And it's a small group, so it's only 5. I have a volunteer working with me. So we see them, we hear them, we accept what it is that they're saying, and we take that and say, okay, what can we do with this? How is this dance? How does this relate to dance? What are you saying? And that is very valuable because especially in public schools, the teachers don't have time to see every student because they have so much they have to get done. And they have to get everybody moved on to the next onto the next step. And if there's one kid who just wants to spend a little bit more time, they don't have the luxury. Well, here they do, because it is really coming from them. It's not coming from me. We're not doing pliés or tendus or anything like that. I'm not teaching them dances. They're creating their own.
That is amazing.
That's lovely. Yeah, that's good. I feel like to add to that a little bit, just the psychology of being a junior high kid. middle school kid, there's so much going on in your brain, chemistry, so much changing about your life and your body and your brain and your friends. And there's not a lot can be consistent just for the average kid. And then throwing in on top of that, just some of the struggles that our community has, socioeconomically, and so in the terms of like support structures that they can go home to and have solid support structures, there's so much that they have up in the air. So to have our goal is to provide really consistent programming, that they have teachers that they go to every week and they have a relationship with those teachers. And in that relationship, they also happen to be building these skills that change their lives forever. Not because we expect them to grow up to be dancers or professional artists, though they might, but because you can't really fail in art. And that's what we want to set up, that there's no failure here. And there's a theme that keeps reappearing for me in my planning of classes and in my life, and that is that love calls us into existence. So whether that is we're not like, oh, we love you when we teach these classes, but because we're consistent with them, because we care about them and we care about our community, those things are going to constantly let them know that they are valued just for existing. Like they don't have to earn anything with us. So
that is so beautiful. Thank you guys for doing what you do. Again, and it's repeated here, there are such amazing things going on in Altoona and Blair County. So what made you both come here? What made you stay here? Why Altoona?
I came here about 20 years ago. Penn State Altoona had just gone to a four-year degree. They didn't have dance. They were starting some arts majors, and so I suggested, "You want dance, don't you?" And they said yes. So here I am, 20 years later, having, great support from the campus in developing a dance minor. That's part of the integrative arts major, and being able to and encouraged to do some of this outreach stuff. I mentioned that I did the children's dance theater with the other youngers. Now I'm working with ArtsAltoona through the older kids, keeping that reach into dance and not limiting it to the general perception of dance being, you can only be a dancer if you started at 3 years old and you studied this and this and this and this. Dance is so much broader than that, and that creativity that has to or should continue through adult.
Right.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So why Altoona for you?
Well, I was born here, and my husband and I have often experimented with the idea of moving away. And every time we do, we just can't. It's not because there's not a way to move out, right? He's applied for jobs and we've done all these things, and then we say, but gee, we have really, we have a support structure here, and we have people we love here, and we have things we want to do here, and a difference that we would like to make here. So we keep getting called back to stay. Yeah.
Now, as we're starting to wrap up, I just kind of wanted to touch base with you, and just maybe check in with each of you. What inspires your work, and what makes you do what you do? Because you both do amazing things. So.
Does that mean I'm going first?
I don't
Well, dance came naturally. I mean, I started my formal training when I was about 13. But even before then, I was dancing. I was creating dances. I was creating these little acts, for your family. I think most little girls do that. But once I actually started the formal training and realized that was a place for me to really find me. That's where I found me. And the opportunities that led me to explore who I was. Once I started dancing, there was nothing else. So I just had to continue. Did I answer your question?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you started at 13.
I did.
How did you start?
There's a funny story behind this.
Well, it was a nun in Catholic elementary school. I was in, well, actually, it was 12, so it was 6th grade. And she actually was a former Broadway dancer
Oh, wow.
before she became a nun.
Before she became a
Wow.
nun.
And so she came. So she was working at the elementary school in State College, and she put on a spring show every year. And so we knew when Sister Natalie, she was always going to do some dance. And for some reason, she started when I remember in about 3rd or 4th grade, we started these little dances for my class. But it was in 6th grade. She was going to do a dance to Bridge Over Troubled Waters.
Nice.
Okay. All right. And so she knew she wanted to have a group, then a trio, and a solo. So she had all of us audition. And so here it's like, okay, sure. I don't know what that means. I'll audition. And everybody else who was auditioning had been dancing since they were 3 years old, and I had never stepped into a dance studio. I was selected for the solo. It was like, and it was at that moment, it was like, I still remember the first
Life-changing.
movement. You know, and I remember the costume. I remember every moment, and it was just touched me so deeply, and it was from that moment. It's like, that's it. That's it.
You know, and that really connects to what you're doing with Arts in Motion. Like these kids that you're working with may have that like light bulb moment just from
Absolutely.
the things that you're doing.
And the arts, that's the thing. The arts can do that.
Yeah.
The arts can do that because it does touch them personally.
Yeah.
Because there is no wrong.
Yeah.
It's just acceptance.
Yeah.
Yes. That's beautiful.
Your story.
I was thinking about it yesterday. I was witnessing the Bellwood Antis Elementary talent show tryouts yesterday. And I was just like overwhelmed by the vulnerability that kids are willing to be in front of each other or in adults that we would never probably do as adults. Like,
Right.
let me try something for the first time in front of this group of people. It's so beautiful, right? Like that. And we're catching the junior high kids before they lose that ability to be vulnerable. And I know we always think junior high kids are like starting to shut down, but sometimes they're not. Sometimes they are so willing. And that's the beautiful thing about working with this age group.
Well, the thing is, sometimes from other perspectives, it does look like they're shutting down.
Yeah.
But when you can turn the tables on them and accept what it is that they're saying as something that valuable that they are saying, it's like, oh, really? But I intended to.
Yeah.
But it didn't work.
Yeah.
So, but there's value in that, you know?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to tell us what the future holds for ASAP? So, looking into May and June, looking through the summer, looking into next year, what are some things that are coming across the board for ASAP?
Sure. So we have plans to do some camp-style classes this summer at different locations in Altoona, and that would be like 2 weeks every day in the morning. So it would be different. Like right now, we're doing once a week at the junior high, where that's a consistent schedule. But we're just going to try a camp format and see if we can just build relationships with kids a little bit that way. Specifically, that one's going to be at Evergreen Manors in Altoona.
Okay.
And then we are hoping to start some conversations to do the same concept at other housing groups in Altoona as well. So that's our next step. And then we're also starting to plan next year where we'd like to have different classes happening each day of the week so that kids could do perhaps drawing on Mondays, dance on Tuesdays, painting on Wednesdays, so would have a few choices.
Right.
Or they could do all of them if they wanted to.
Right.
So and then it would be, every 9 weeks we would sort of re-examine and restart class topics, but sort of keep the structure the same.
And now, you're looking for teachers
We're looking for teachers.
and volunteers.
Oh, yes.
So you can find those things on ArtsAltoona.org website. So take a look if you are somebody who has something to offer. Ann Bickel would love
to me.
But thank you both for sharing your hearts about these kids and what you're doing in their lives, and thank you for doing it. So.
I'm learning better dance moves because before I used to only do Fortnite dances and stuff. And I'm also learning how to bring out my creativity because I'm super creative, but I have trouble bringing it out. It started to be like more artistic than I expected. And then in this class, I was thinking that it was gonna be an art class instead of a dance class. And I would like some drawing and painting because I like to do abstract art. I'm not good at actually drawing, but I am good at abstract art. It was fun to like learn new things about watercolors other than what I already knew from taking art classes before that. I want to take a filmmaking class too because I do have my own YouTube channel, but it's all horrible because I don't know how to edit, and I'm also filming on a smartphone that has a horrible camera. I feel more confident in myself because before I started like art class and music classes to like stay in my own little shell and like not meet new people, not do anything. Well, and then my friends encouraged me to start a group and be there for like things like this group. It's like not usual for me to talk about something like art.
And now, audience, it's your turn to share. I hope that you'll join in the discussion by leaving a comment below. Did this video inspire you? Do you have a relevant story to share with our subscriber community? If so, please let us know. And if you haven't had the opportunity, please like this video right here on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. And on our Facebook page at ArtsAltoona, we have a weekly newsletter that has something for everyone in Blair County and the region. And thank you, audience, for your part in ensuring that everyone knows how amazing the Blair County community is and about people like Ann Bickel and Professor Casey Huckabee that strive to make it that way. We hope to see you next time at ArtsAltoona Talks.